Today guys on Beer Geek Nation, we're looking back at the 10 top beers of 2013 that are reviewed on the channel. And these are all going to be beers that have not previously been on other lists that I've made as well. I wanted to do that just to kind of keep it fresh. And keep in mind, again, these beers are beers that I've only reviewed on this channel. So you're going to be able to find the videos for all of them down below. This isn't the entire list of some of my favorite beers of 2013. I might do another list of stuff that I actually didn't review on this channel, but I thought were just as great. So we're going to start at number 10 and work our way up to number 1. Number 10 on the list was from Stone Brewing. It was their Farking Wheaton wootstout, an imperial stout brewed with pecans, aged partially in different types of bourbon barrels. I thought it was just a fantastic beer. At 13%, it didn't drink like that at all. Every time I had that beer, I got new things out of it. So every time I had it, I kind of gained a different appreciation for it. I thought all the different components really came together to make a really drinkable beer, and I look forward to trying some of that beer in the future. I believe they're actually going to brew it again from what I understand, but if you can still find it, definitely pick yourself up. That is my number 10 beer of 2013. Number 9 is the Cigar City Brewing's Barrel Aged Big Sound, which is a Scotch ale. It's seasonal release for them. Their Big Sound is a seasonal release. It's a Scotch ale. Big, great example of the style. They released a limited quantity that they put in bourbon barrels. And they released it, and I got to try that, and it was fantastic. I haven't had too many barrel-aged Cigar City beers. That was actually my first one, and I look forward to trying some of their other ones. The barrel played perfectly off the great example of the Scotch ale that is the Big Sound. It is a must-find. It just worked in all manners. If you guys love Scotch ales, definitely check that one out. If you can find the barrel-aged one, definitely pick that up. It's awesome stuff. And that is my number 9 beer of 2013. Number 8, another beer from Stone Brewing. This was their Southern Charred, which is the double bastard that was aged in bourbon barrels. For me, I've had a lot of the Stone barrel series or barrel aged series. None of them have been, awesome. I think this is the one that really just kind of set the bar for that series. You finally got that big barrel characteristic that I've been looking for in that series, and it played off the double bastard perfectly. You get those big, sweet, kind of sticky, malty notes from the double bastard, and then you get the vanilla and the oakiness and the kind of the tobacco type of flavors from the bourbon barrel. They just fuse together perfectly to make an awesome beer. Definitely pick that one up, and that is why it's the number 8 beer of 2013. Number 7, and this might be a little bit of a surprise for you guys, but it's Goose Island's Bourbon County Barleywine. This is the first time I believe this was bottled, first time getting to have it. I also had King Henry this year, so I finally got to compare those two, and I think this is a fantastic offering. I'm not a big American barley wine fan, so when I heard this was an English style, I've since found out that it was the same recipe they used in King Henry. So it's a big English barley wine, big malt forward, a little bit of dark fruits in there. Adding it to those bourbon barrels that previously held the Bourbon County brand stout, you're adding some of that component in there as well. It's just a hugely complex beer, very approachable yet delicious. Another awesome offering in the Bourbon County series, and I hope they produce more of it next year so I can get to try some more. So number 7 is the Goose Island Bourbon County Barleywine. Number 6, and this was a surprise. I didn't think I was going to actually get to try it this year, and I got to give a huge thanks to Ryan, aka Stumpy Joe Jr. for this one. It is from AleSmith Brewing, and it was their Vietnamese Speedway Stout. I was skeptical. I'm like, what can coffee, a different type of coffee actually add to a beer that's already awesome, already has great coffee in it? But my mind was blown. The Vietnamese coffee just adds a huge, massive vanilla component to the beer that really just takes the Speedway Stout to a whole nother level, pops the chocolate, brings more of that kind of, big imperial stout notes forward while blending it with that sweet kind of vanilla. Just an absolute joy to drink. You can't detect the alcohol. It's like I think it's a 11 or 12% beer. You don't detect that alcohol at all. It's just the flavors all work together. It's just an amazingly well crafted beer. And to see what that Vietnamese coffee really can do for a beer was just very impressive. And that is why it was my number 6 beer of 2013. Number 5 beer of 2013 was from the Bruery, and it was their Bois, which is their anniversary beer. It's basically a combination of all the previously anniversary beers, and then they added a new batch into it, and I think those beers are just getting so hugely complex, and the brewery is getting so good at blending those beers and brewing these really, really high alcohol beers that it's just came together perfectly this year. It's another one of those big, I think it's like 15%, where you really don't detect too much of the alcohol. It's definitely there in a sweetness, but it's not fusely. It's definitely a sipper, but it's a beer you just keep constantly getting different flavors out from the different barrels and the various blends from the previous batches. It just all works. It's a hugely complex, complicated beer, and it was an absolute pleasure to take an hour or two and just enjoy that bottle. And I definitely recommend, if you guys can find bottles of that still floating around, definitely pick some up and throw some in the cellar. So number 5 was the Bruery Bois. Number 4 beer of 2013 was from Firestone Walker Brewing. This was their Velvet Merkin. It was an 8% imperial stout aged in bourbon barrels. It just had everything that Firestone Walker is known for: a solid base, amazing barrel characteristics, and all that blending, and it just worked. It's, you know, a great beer, and I hope to see it again next year, and that's why number 4 was Firestone Walker's Velvet Merkin. Number 3 was from Great Lakes Brewing. Formerly, it was called Alchemy Hour when I reviewed it. It's now called Cool Wave. There was a legal issue, and I guess they had to change it, but it was their Alchemy Hour IPA. It was all mosaic hopped IPA, and I believe they put some honey malt in there. It was just fantastic. It blew me away. It had so much hop complexity, a big sweetness, but it had that dry malt component in there to really help balance everything out. It was clean, it was refreshing, and it was really unlike anything I've had in a long time in an IPA. And I look forward to it coming out again as Cool Wave IPA, or whatever they call it. My number 3 beer of 2013 was Great Lakes Brewing Alchemy Hour / Cool Wave. And number 2, probably to no surprise for many people, is the Firestone Walker 17th anniversary release. I thought this, you know, every year Firestone Walker does a different blend for their anniversary year. You know, different components go into it, different barrels and all that stuff. You get all the barrel complexity, you get all the maltiness, you get to taste kind of the different nuances that each of the style of beer goes into the blend, you know, what it adds to the final blend, and it just worked this year. It was fantastic. Number 2 for me was a Firestone Walker 17th anniversary ale. All right, guys, so my number 1 beer of 2013, it was kind of a hometown beer for me, from Victory Brewing out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, their Dirt Devil Imperial IPA. I didn't know what to expect from this beer. It kind of came out of left field a little bit. They announced they were going to be releasing 2 Imperial IPAs basically within a few months of each other. Dirt Wolf the first, and then Hop Ranch, which you're going to see a review for coming up here, being just released in late December. Dirt Devil is awesome. It actually came out of the Hop Ranch series. It has everything I look for in Imperial IPA. It's got big tropical notes, big kind of sweet, juicy fruitiness in there, a really nice kind of sweet malty backbone to help balance everything out. You know, I talk a lot about balance in a lot of these beers, and I think that's one of the key components to making a great beer is balance. Dirt Devil just has craftsmanship written all over it. Coming in around 8.6%, I believe. You know, again, it's another one, you don't taste any of the alcohol. It just kind of lets the hops and the malt speak for themselves without being, you know, blown away by a big fusel note. Really dry finish. It's just an absolute joy to drink. Right now, it's going to be a year-round beer. It's really affordable around me. It's just an awesome beer, and I'm so glad they finally released something like that. Victory is known for making pretty traditional styles, a lot of German different styles of beer. They all do really solid stuff, but this one really, I think, kind of came out of left field for a lot of people. They didn't expect Victory to do something like this, and the same goes with their Hop Ranch. They really spent a lot of time developing Dirt Wolf, and I think it shows. It's an awesome beer, and is my number 1 beer of 2013, and I definitely feel like you guys should pick that up, give it a shot. It's a fantastic beer. It's year-round, it's affordable, and it's spot freaking on. So there it is, guys, my top 10 of 2013. Again, be sure to check all the videos out below. If you have any comments, suggestions about, you know, my list, you know, what did I leave out, if I left out anything, let me know. And again, looking forward to 2014 with you guys. Thank you for coming along with the ride, and remember, folks, life's too short. Drink amazing beers. Cheers.